So yeah, if you want to, we can update what's been going on and
Nope. We're on live
update.
now. We're
Okay,
on live now,
perfect.
Kim.
All right.
Yeah.
Hi.
So we were trying to figure out the issues, and it was an Apple product issue. So just curious if someone could give us a hit back how the sound is. Little pesky connections here tonight. Our Galactic Goddess here had to switch from her laptop because it was an Apple to her phone, so it seemed to be working better.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just let us know quickly if the sound and everything is cool. And Kim, say hi.
Hi. Hi everyone. It's good to be back.
See if I can get my phone going. Good. Dorian said it's good. Thank you. Great. What a pain. All right. So, an interesting story how I met new name Galactic Goddess. I put this up quick. So you have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
That should work. So your Facebook page is the Galactic Goddess.
Mm-hmm.
And a website.
Yes, the
Goddess.com.
website. Yeah, it's not published yet till September 1st. So I'm starting that. Yeah, basically what had happened was that I got the notice, orders from headquarters to start a website, to start doing tarot reading using your cards, and to help people connect to the to the higher gods and everything, and to help people in their personal life, and especially people with disabilities and everything. So that was the reason why I have the website. I'm on Twitter with the Galactic Goddess.
I guess. Gotta subscribe to that. Follow you then.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have some interesting comments.
Okay.
So it's an interesting story how we met. You were, and it created an interesting journey for myself. So you were searching for someone to give you a reading.
Correct.
Right? And you found Celtic Sheila.
Yeah, Sheila, right, from Celtic.
And the reading didn't work out the way you wanted, and you said something about there's someone you know that you're supposed to contact, right?
Correct, yes.
And come to find out, I was reading with Sheila on Sundays, and she recommended me.
Right.
So we ended up talking, oh God, maybe 7-8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite a journey. So it brought me onto this journey of connecting with our extraterrestrial ancestors. And I've always been interested and never really tapped in, but that's where my journey began. And thanks to you, I probably had 10 plus readings of people that have either had experiences or connections to our extraterrestrial ancestors. And it opened up my horizons a little bit more spiritually. Thanks
Wow,
to you.
great.
So it's almost like in a way, I felt like I became an extraterrestrial whisperer.
That's true.
Because I'm always trying to search more deeply about, what's out there, why, everything. But you had, well, if you want to just tell your story a little bit, but you had no memory for what, 6 years of your life?
Right.
Never knew your parents. And you just got The only memory you had was getting dropped off at a adoption agency or a foster home.
Yeah, basically what had happened. First of all, I'm glad to hear that your journey about connecting with and they're not aliens, they're called natives or galactic god and goddesses, because they're the original. They were here first. We're the aliens. They were here first. It's like the Native Americans. They were here first. Not the white Europeans, and that's why I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. But anyway, and so that's my whole purpose was to start the website and the Twitter and everything, because they wanted me to help people get in connection to their higher self, connecting with the universal god and goddesses. And so I'm glad that basically you would have been my first, because that was the whole purpose, which I wasn't aware of your journey, but I'm really, really pleased and honored that it opened up your portals and to get you connected. And so that's that. And so that's my whole purpose. But anyway, to give you a recap of my story, I was in Korea, and I don't know exactly everything that happened, but basically there was a bombing. Oh, I wanted to tell you about your tarot cards. I did the daily tarot oracle card, and the card I got was male ancestry is with you, which is you. So that was interesting that you came up in my oracle card using your oracle deck that you created.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting.
Well, speaking of South Korea, I was stationed there for a year when I was in the service.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, what had happened was that I was in Korea, which I don't know what part of Korea I was in at the time that I was born. But anyway, something happened where there was a bombing, but the whole village was destroyed. And anyway, what had happened was that I was left to die, and they thought I was dead because I was just laying there unconscious and stuff like that. Well, what had happened was these beings came to me, and there was no figure. They were just lights. It's basically like if you had lit a candle. And that's why when I light a candle, I get the same feeling. Same as with a fire, like a fireplace, or, a fire when you go camping and stuff like that, which is emitting what they use for red light therapy for if you have acne, for depression, for SAD, seasonal affective disorder.
Like infrared light?
Yeah, but it wasn't a red light, but it gives you the feeling of the red light, because red light really isn't red. It's really white. Right. But with our receptacles and our eyes and stuff like that, it appears to be red. Anyway, it was these lights, and so it was like candles everywhere, like when you lit candles in the night. And so they came to me, and everything was it was interesting because nobody talked, but everything was telepathic, and they wanted my body parts. And so I asked them, what they wanted, and they basically wanted one arm and one leg, and they wanted my sexual organs and anything that I could live without. So and at the to make a brief, I said, well, they did ask nice, and everything like that. And so they took my arm, and they took my left arm, and they took my left leg. And knowing that I was right-handed, so they didn't want to make it difficult for me. And again, I don't know how old I was or anything like that. So to make a long
Well,
story short,
I
but
remember I
they
was getting 6 years old.
no, this is when I was younger.
Right, 6. I
Yeah, I
was
was
getting 6.
younger. Yeah, younger than 5 at least. So anyway, so they took my limbs and they just, and it was, I don't know how long it took or anything, but it looked like it was just a minute. But anyway, um, so they took them, and then the next minute, I see that um, I'm on. I wake up, and it's like I'm in a manger, like the story of Jesus Christ in a manger, and it wakes me up by the light going through the cracks of the barn, and I'm woken up, and there's these children looking down at me. And in Korea and third world countries, people with disabilities are not visible, and they keep them hidden, and you never see them or anything like that. So when I woke up and I raised my head, they all scattered. And so then the next minute, I'm with some old people, which will presumably be my grandparents, and I see silkworms everywhere. And so I see white worms everywhere, and they're probably silkworms. The next minute, I'm on the back of the old man, and we're walking along. He puts me on the train, and I don't know anything about anything because I've only been in this village. And so and he motions that, and then he leaves. So I don't know what's going on. And again, I don't know anything about time and everything like that. And I'm left on this train. The train starts, and I don't know how long I've been on the train. And I'm on the train, and then I end up being in an orphanage. And so I'm in an orphanage, and I start like a little government type thing where the older people help the younger people, and the stronger ones help the weaker ones. And we're taking care of babies. There's just rows and rows and rows of babies, and so I'm taking care of the babies and everything like that. Every day we're looking out for food, and we would see the American soldiers, and we'd always come up running up to them because they would always give us Wrigley gum, and so they'd always give us the green or the white Wrigley gum to us. And so we always thought it was fascinating because you could chew and chew and chew, and it would never dissolve. So we thought it was food. So it was like having food forever. So that's why we always look forward. And plus it was sweet because we never had anything sweet. The only thing that was sweet was interesting is on tar on the road. We ate that when it was hot, and it would be sweet like candy, like taffy. But this is all what we discovered because we don't know anything. So anyway, we're digging through garbage cans, and we're always every day we're looking for food and everything like that. And so I end up, we look through this one family, we see this through the screen door, we see fresh peeled potato skins. And we're thinking, oh my God, that's, hitting the lottery, And so we all go in there, and we're stealing the potato skins, peelings that are on the floor. Well, we hear soldiers coming by and coming through. Everybody runs, but everybody can run because they have 2 legs, and I only have the one. So I'm stuck there. And so they hit me in the head, and they hit me with the butt of their rifle on my foot, on my right foot. And that's why my right foot is really deformed because of that. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, then because of we were able to survive because now we're protecting each other and taking care of each other instead of survival of the fittest. By miracle, I get adopted, but I don't know anything that's going on because, I'm only 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever. So I get adopted by an American family. So I get adopted by an American family. I come to the United States, and that wasn't all happy and wonderful. But I found out later that they were just my caretakers. They were just to take care of my basic needs. I was not supposed to be part of the family and be a daughter and that kind of stuff. So I go off to college and everything like that, live my life. And so anyway, I don't. I know that there's something very strange about my life, but I don't know what's going on and stuff like that. So then I'm working, long hours and, going to college every 10 years and upgrading my skills and stuff and making really good money, and went into law and accounting and, all sorts of stuff. So I made really good money, retired at the age of 50. So then I am married to my second husband, who is a Trump. And you can imagine being married to Trump for 13 years. And that's why I hate Trump so badly, because he reminds me, his traits and everything is just like Trump. So anyway, I find out that he's cheating. And then I find out that, which I thought, well, we can work that out and everything like that. Then I find out that he's into child porn and all this other stuff. I thought, no, that is never going to work. So I leave him. I go up and down the coast of, Washington and Oregon, and I look up at the stars and I say, I want you to send me the most wonderful person in the world. And so in the universe. So I end up and find out Dave. So anyway, everything worked out perfectly. In May, I left my husband. I toured. I loaded up the dogs in the van. We'd tour and try, and it was wonderful because it was very freeing just to be in the van, not have any schedule, and you realize what's really valuable to you. Like, why do I have to have all these placemats and all these, possessions? They're just irrelevant, nothing, they're not important in your life.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so then I start looking for a place in June, find a place in July, move in August, realize that I have to start what I call duty dating, force myself to start meeting new people and dating and going out. And so I get online and I meet Dave in September and then we meet in October, and then we get married in December. We get married on 12/12/12, which is the perfect number.
And that was and remember, that was my daughter. That's my daughter's birthday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was what was so interesting. And so anyway, but in September, I look at the universe. I said, I want you to find me the most wonderful person. So I meet Dave, and we get married. We meet in October. We meet face to face because we're online. We meet face to face in October. We get married on 12/12/12, and he lives in Arizona. So, which would have been the worst place in the world for me because I hate hot weather. Being a double amputee, because I don't have all my limbs, the blood flow and everything doesn't work well. And so therefore I get really hot easily because of the short circulation that I have, that the body flows instead of the regular way it's supposed to flow to cool you off and everything. So, but I was meant to be in Arizona because every night now, and that's the update, is every night I can meet and talk to the Galactic Gods and Goddesses, and then they tell me everything about what's going on in the world. They tell me, who killed Epstein. They tell me how Ivana died. They tell me about what Trump's next move is. They tell me, the monsoons. They tell me about the economy. They tell me about everything. And they visit me every night. And I live in...
I believe that. I was telling you that I believe that area is like Highway Central.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I was meant to be here and also to be married to Dave. And he built this house in 2004. And so the reason why he moved here originally and moved over here is he had a wife that had a shopping addiction. And so he thought, oh, if I move here, then she can't go shopping and spend all the money. he could bring in $10,000 a month and it would be gone in a flash by buying doilies and those globes that you shake, whatever, and trinkets and stuff,
Just stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, he was, so he thought, well, that would stop her shopping addiction. And so it did for a while, but then you have Amazon. So anyway, she does leave him because she can't stand that she can't go to a movie because there's nothing here. You have to go 2 hours to go to Phoenix or 2 hours to go to Yuma, but there's nothing here. There's no bars, there's no theaters, there's no shopping mall, there's nothing here. And we have this little rundown store, and I always tell people that if they don't have it, then you don't need it. There's nothing there. So anyway, and if you do need it, it would cost you like $5 for one roll of toilet paper, and stuff like that, and $25 for a little can of if you get a flat tire, you have to pay $25 for air, and they charge you for everything. Even to go to the bathroom, they'll charge you $10 to use the restroom if you don't buy anything. And so anyway, I'm in the middle of nowhere, but it is perfect because you see the total galaxy. They come and visit me, and sometimes I'll have one, sometimes I'll have, a couple of them. I'll have a whole party sometimes. And they come and just visit me. And so every night I'm out there and I'm talking to them. And it's interesting because, again, we don't really verbally talk. It's all telepathic. Right. They'll tell me, they'll go, watch out, there's going to be a major storm, and there's going to be monsoon, so don't travel. And they'll tell me, oh, tell your friend that they're going to have flooding, and they're going to have massive or there's all the stuff that was happening back east. They would tell me what would be going on, and so they tell me all sorts of things, and then they just tell me really odd things as well, which I think they just tell me things whether I need them or not. But that's why I'm here. So that's when they told me, they said, you need to get, Scott has started has tarot cards and oracle cards. You need to get them. And so I thought, well, okay. Because I have oracle cards up the yang yang, and I've never resonated with any of them and stuff, and that's why I haven't done the tarot reading, because I know how to do tarot, and I know how to do, and I get even more insights because I get them directly from the gods and goddesses, but I just have never had the right medium. So I order your cards come, and immediately I resonate with them. And so then every night they tell me, they would tell me how to use them. And so they told me a couple things that was very, very important. First of all, what you're supposed to do is see, like, when I'm talking to you, and especially like when I'm talking to the god and goddesses, I'm just shuffling your cards. For some reason, they bring out a really good energy and vibration, and it's very calming. And so anyway, I'm always shuffling along while I'm talking to the gods and goddesses at night and everything like that. So anyway, they tell me that, first of all, when you take the cards, that you're supposed to, they're already blessed. And so you don't need to do the sage thing and all that other stuff. And so they're already blessed, and they already, because of the good intentions and the good energy that was already marinated into each of the cards. So that you don't need to do any ceremony and all this other stuff and everything. The reason why I didn't resonate with the other cards is that most of the people that do design the other cards, and I don't mean to, put them down or anything like that, but the ones that are very exotic with all the artwork and everything like that, well, they're not really, the intentions and everything like that are not with pure thoughts and stuff like that. Most of them are drug induced. Is a better way of saying it. And they're very creative and they're very beautiful. And they can be, have gold siding on them, and they can be, they could just be, and they could all different sizes and everything like that. But, it's like a person that wears a lot of makeup and long fingernails and, poofed up hair and everything like that and everything. Instead of, and that's why you've noticed that I've really changed a lot. The picture that you see there is like from 13 years ago of me and Mopsy, the dog. And then 2 years ago, you could tell that obviously that I've aged. And then now I've aged a lot. And so I just have thought, no, I'm not going to color my hair anymore. I am who I am. I'm near 70 years old. I'm in perfect health. But but I don't need to impress anyone. I don't need to be glamorous and beautiful and all that kind of stuff. I am who I am. And the main thing is I'm not going to spend my money and my energy on frivolous things. And so my purpose was to connect people to their higher self, to their higher God and goddesses, to get in touch with their true self, to reach a higher dimension, and for them to reach their highest dimension. There's 11 dimensions altogether. And they say there's even like total of 26 dimensions. But what happens is that it is the 11th dimension. There are 12, 13, and 14, but they're not stable. And so they get reduced back down to the 12th, 12th dimension. But so anyway, I'm supposed to help people reach. Now a person's highest dimension may be the 7th dimension, which the 7th dimension is when you can go that includes time. So you can go past time or in the future time. And so I'm supposed to help people reach their highest dimension, get in touch with the God and goddesses, and to reach the different levels that their highest potential, and to reach their true purpose in life by getting in touch with the dimensions, reaching the different dimensions, the stair step to the different dimensions and to the God and goddesses. And so that's why I have the website and the Facebook and the Twitter and everything to help people do that. Now, I only charge $36.90. The reason why I only charge $36.90 is because it's the magical number of Tesla, which is the 369. Everything goes down to the 369, especially 9. Like, if you do the circumference of the earth, if you do time, everything goes to the root number, which is number 9. And so you can solve all of the universal problems by using the 369 ratio. And so that's why Tesla was so, he hit on that about the golden ratio and about the Fibonacci number. Everything in nature, like the seashells, the flowers, the petals, everything is either has the golden ratio with the Fibonacci numbers. And if you look at the looking at the numbers, everything goes by the not only the Fibonacci numbers, but also the Pythagorean, and so I know that's going beyond most people's logic and senses, but that's basically where what these god and goddesses tell me at night. And so they tell me. So that's why when somebody, and you know, if you have a disability, that's the website is mostly to help people with disabilities, because they have the lowest and the smallest voices, because and so especially like if you get in a recent it's for two groups of people: the people with disabilities, they get the free readings and connection and the coaching for free. And then there's the tabs, the TAB, which the tab stands for the temporary abled body. So that's what you are, is that you are a temporary abled bodied human, because you're going to be disabled one day, either through health, through an accident, through old age and death. So you will be disabled one day. So that's why you're called a TAP, because you're a temporary able-bodied person. So my job is to make sure that you reach full potential in your spiritual quest, and reach your full potential as to reach your soul contract, and to reach full health. So therefore, you're not reliant upon mechanical devices and pills and medicine and everything like that. Your body can do most everything. When my husband, he had 2 heart attacks and 2 strokes. They wanted him to put a stent and a pacemaker and do bypass surgery and all this other stuff and everything like that. And I said, no. His body is going to, he's not going to be reliant on pills, and he's not going to be reliant on a stent. He's going to have the capability of producing his own blood, pumping his own blood, and living a full life. And so that I had to fight the doctors tooth and nail. And so I refused, you know, for him to have the stent and everything like that. And so, and then every time they had surgery, because they did exploratory surgery, and I had to cross out everything and say it was just exploratory. Anything unusual, they had to contact me and get approval from Dave and I. But they have these fine letters and stuff like that. And being a lawyer, I know all these things. And so I made them know that you are not going to do, it's just exploratory. You go in, see what's going on, and come to find out is that there was nothing going on, but they would have put a stent in and done all this stuff while they were there. And so that's what I made sure, that they were not going to do that. So I find out what vitamins, minerals that he's lacking. And then what I do is that I get those particular raw formula, not the vitamins that you buy at the store, because all of that is synthetic and is you just buy expensive pee.
I agree.
So anyway, what I did is that I buy the powder form. So for instance, let's say that he needs what's that? Now I can't remember all the vitamins the minerals that he takes. For instance, like the stinging nettle. I buy the pure form of the stinging nettle, and then I cap them myself. So you get a cap machine, and I cap them, and I find out how much he needs. The magnesium. I get exactly the amount that he needs, and then I give it to him. And so, and we got this big pill box, and so he takes all his vitamins. He won't eat broccoli or any leafy green vegetables or anything like that. So I buy the powder form of the broccoli and the beets and stuff like that. So he does get his vitamins and the vegetables that he needs. And he won't take the apple cider vinegar, so I buy the powder form. And
Some people don't learn.
yeah, so I do all of that. So I help people reach their full nutritional health, so they are not reliant on medication. And whenever he feels like he's having a heart attack or anything like that, I have him drink a thing of pure pineapple juice, because that will thin his blood. You don't need to go on welfare and take a low dose aspirin every day. That is the worst thing you can do on your liver. You take it when you need it. And like on the magnesium and the nitric oxide and everything like that, I find out how much he needs, and basically and I show people and tell people how to determine how much, because what you need is going to be totally different than mine. Because see, like Scott, I don't know how much you weigh. I presume 150.
No, I'm tall.
Okay, you're 200 pounds. Okay,
200.
I'm 97 pounds. Now, they're going to give you the same recommendation of vitamins or pills for you and for me. Well, obviously, I'm going to need less, but I may need more because I'm lacking in more of a hormonal. So how you determine how much vitamins you need is like with the magnesium. Every day I would give Dave a magnesium pill, and then I would increase it every day. The day that he gets, let's say, a stomach ache or diarrhea, then I know to cut it back one. That's the dosage he needs to take. So that's how you determine, how much vitamins and that you're going to need. So when the doctor recommends you need 400 IUs or whatever, no, you may need more and you may need less, but there's a way of determining that. I help people show them how to reach their full potential health. See, like I'm missing an arm and a leg, but I'm in absolute perfect health. And so I don't have heart problems. I'm not overweight. I don't have diabetes. I don't have high blood pressure. I am in absolutely perfect health. But, and I'm just missing an arm and a leg. That's it. But everyone else is far worse off. It's just that mine's visible. And so they think that I'm the one that is the disabled person and everything. But anyway, that's my goal in life. And that's that's my purpose of why I was placed here in Arizona. And that's when I started. So when I got your cards and your Oracle cards, that's when it gave me the kick in the butt to start the website and start helping people and everything like that. So that's
Amazing.
why it's really great that I was able to help you when you were the one that really helped me get in touch with all this other stuff. So, and this is the purpose of why we're here, is to help each other.
Of course. Yes.
So anyway, let me show you about your cards.
Like when I created those cards, I had many other Oracle decks. Bought a few, decks that dealt with the star family and, different star seeds and all that. And I didn't like any of them. That none of them resonated with me. So this deck popped in my head. There's more to the universe than just, I don't know, star seeds or whatever. And it can be simple.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our universe, we have our star brothers, our star family, we have planets, we have things on Earth we can use, light, crystals, Earth energy. I just brought it all together in one deck. And that was
Exactly.
my baby. Whether people resonate and want it, that's fine. But I felt like I needed to create it.
Perfect. Yeah. And that's what I'm really, really grateful for you doing that, because what happened was that so what I and the reason why let me tell you, the reason why the cards resonated is that, first of all, about the farm. when you have these decks of cards and they have all these fancy artwork and all that kind of stuff, that's nice, you know, the artwork and all that stuff, but not when you're getting in touch with your soul and when you have important, you know, issues to deal with and very critical issues that you need to find answers for. You can't do that, you know, with
Right.
fancy artwork and everything like that. So when I first got the cards, I thought, you know, oh, they're not really impressive and everything like that and everything. So I thought, you know, but I was told to get them. So I thought, well, I'll take a look. And so if you are wise and you are in touch with yourself, you'll realize that everything goes down to the basics. And what is the purest form, which are the animals. And what happens is that, you know, they don't have any ulterior motive like, I don't like you today because I'm in a bad mood, you know, or you said this to me, or you didn't give me this, you know. They don't have that. They just love you no matter what. And animals are animals.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why when we die, our highest form is to come back as an animal, whether it's a domestic animal or a wild animal. So that's why you'll get the purest form of with your decks, because the farm, how are, you know, that's a lifestyle. That's the purest form of lifestyle of a good family life where we all work together on the farm. And you know, we have our chores, and so we have our responsibilities. What better way to raise children to say, you need to go feed the chickens, you need to milk the cows, you need to do this. Now it's, you know, spring, we
Yeah.
need to plant, we need to harvest, now we need to can, you know, spend, you know, hours in a hot house canning, and we're all going to be sweating like pigs and stuff like that, but we do it so we can have peaches, you know, in the wintertime. And what better way to feed ourselves, to raise a family, to respect animals, to understand nature, about the season, about planting, about learning about what to plant, and that we grew it ourselves. It wasn't that we went to the store and bought it, or we ordered it on Amazon. We grew it ourselves. And we know that there's no pesticides or GMOs or anything like that. And we put cow shit on it. We put, you know, chicken manure on it. You know, we season it and let it do that. And then you put it on your so you just learn, and it's all the natural process of nature. So what better form than to have a farm? Okay, so then you have the oracle.
That deck was part of the love because I was a farmer and lived on the family farm for 40 years.
Yeah,
You know, and that was the inspiration there
but
because
yeah,
of
you
the
learned
animals.
everything.
You know, there's pictures of our family farm, me, my siblings, animals I
Mhm.
owned are on there. So that was the labor of love for that.
Right, but you learned everything. You learned about nature, about the seasons. It taught you about raising a family. I mean, if you were living
Yeah.
on the farm, if you wanted something, you had to grow it, and there it was right in front of you. You didn't have to go to Walmart to get it. And you know, so you learned everything about survival, about family life, about nature, about animals, respect and how to take care of them, and you know, longevity and how to survive. So it taught you everything. So that's why the cards were really excellent on that. Then you have the oracle cards, which then you have the higher dimension, and they're the ones that are looking out for you. And what's really interesting is that I discovered, you know, the people that are Catholics or Mormons and they pray to, you know, Allah and all these other people, do you know that every single one of them, we are all, no matter what your religion is, they're all praying and we're all meditating to the same universe. They just have a different name.
True.
And so it's interesting when they say, I'm a Catholic, you know, and I believe in Mother Mary and all this other stuff. And then, of course, but they're really looking up to the stars and talking to the universe and who is the true God? It's you. You are the God of you. And so therefore it's not something beyond you. It is you. It is your universe, your God, what is right for you. And so nobody ever thinks, well, I think I'm going to go kill everybody, you know, because that's what my God told me. Because your God would never tell you that. If you think about it, you know.
Well, same as the Republicans. They claim with Jesus and all that, but they're the most evil people.
Yeah, but they're the ones that have used the religion for their own purposes, you know, and that's when they started for instance, the Catholics, that you had to pay a penance to if you wanted to get to heaven, and so that was man-made, but that's not the true religion. That's when they were in the Native American Indians, you know, they knew, you know, to who the universal God was. And then people wanted, that you have to pay a certain amount of money. If you did this sin, then it's going to cost you $5. If you did this, it's going to cost you $20. And that was a way for them to take control and to make money off of people and stuff like that. But you know, the universal
and came evangelicals.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know, and those clowns are making money left and right and living the high life while their flock isn't getting. They're false prophets for ego greed.
Yeah, exactly. And so anyway, that's the whole purpose. And so then you have, like I said, the oracle cards. The oracle cards give you the higher dimension answers and stuff like that. So what you do is that with your cards, and you do read reversals. The reason why is in life, you can't say everything's going to be positive. You read reversals because that's what life is. So literally, like the Big Bang Theory on the universe, is that you take your cards and you're supposed to throw them up in the air, and you're just supposed to you know, throw them up in the air like the 52 pickup, and you're just supposed to scramble along. And then what you do is that you can put them back together in a deck if you want to, but you don't need to. But it's pretty much like the Big Bang Theory of how all the planets and stuff like that were created. And you can do the Celtic cross, or you can do the past, present, and future. You can do the daily reading. You can, with a 3 card draw, you can do, you know, what does the universe want me to know today? You know, what they want, what insights should I take into today, and then you can say, what do I need to be aware of? What cautionary advice do you have for me that I need to look out for today? And so you just basically do the regular draws like any other, like I said, the Celtic cross. Then when you need answers of, you know, clarifications and stuff like that, you do the oracle cards, and you do the same thing. You just throw them up in the air and you just kind of go back and forth. Now on your farm cards, what I do is that you find out what your prime number is. So let's say your prime number is 7, then you're supposed to cut the deck 7 times. And you're supposed to cut the deck at least 3 times. And when you cut the deck, you're supposed to cut them in thirds, and then you go in counterclockwise. So you do, and the reason why you do counterclockwise is because that's how the Earth rotates. Where we live, if you lived anywhere else, you might have to go clockwise, but where we live in the United States, you go counterclockwise because that's how the Earth rotates. Now, the one thing that they taught me was that when you do the Celtic cross, which are the one thing they did is they did one where it's called, you can call it the Jeopardy or the whole cycle. But basically, you're putting the cards like a clock. So you do 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 1. So you do put a card in each one. Then on the 12, the 9, the 6, and the 3, you put the oracle card underneath it. And so basically anything above the 3 and the 6 is the present, and anything below that is the past. And so if you have
Kim, something's wrong with the sound. Maybe tap your phone or something.
Yeah.
Your sound is off.
Oh, it is.
I mean, it's not off, but it's squeaking. Maybe you just tap your phone.
No, it's because I threw the cards on the table. I threw your cards on the table.
It's not right yet. Maybe tap your phone or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Try speaking.
Okay.
No, it's still bad. It was good for a while.
Oh, yeah. I threw the cards, threw them up in the air. And but if you want, we can do another session about how I use your cards. And
I guess people can hear you, but it's a little tingy.
It's tingy.
Yeah,
okay.
Something's weird.
Okay. Do you want to do a second?
It's working now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's back. So
yeah. So basically,
now it went bad again.
Okay. Well, do you want to do?
I don't know what's going on. So you were talking about the 3. You're talking about how you do 3.
Yeah, and so and so what you do is that when you do the cards for the 12, 9, 6, and 3, those are basically the past, present, and the future, and then the 12th is you. So you would put an oracle card, you put your farm cards on all of the numbers, you put the oracle cards on the 12, 9, 6, and 3. And so the 12, 9, 6, and 3 are the past, present, and future, and the 12th is you. And so you have your farm card and an oracle card. The other 2 numbers, what they are is like the 1 and 2, and the 11 and 10 are your future. So you can do it 2 ways. One is that you can ask a question like, am I ever going to get married, or am I going to have a baby? And so you can open the card, and it will tell you what you, whatever the card gives you. The ones on the bottom, it gives you the answer, and then you have to figure out the question. So that's the Jeopardy part. So let's say that on the 4 and 5, let's say it says, I'll just think of something. Let's say it gives you
How many cards would you use?
just one,
No, I
but
mean for your spread. How many cards would you put?
12. Remember, you're doing the round clock.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay, and
Well,
you're going.
same thing for me. Same thing for me. Any kind of spread, whatever I'm doing, I'd always use either 3, 6, or 9 or 12.
Right, and so right, but here you're using 12 because you're using the
right
like the
using
clock, and
right.
you go be sure to go counterclockwise, never go clockwise, because then you'll be off rotationally. And also it's important to cut the cards according to your numerology, your life number, and it can never be less than 3. It has to be at least 3. So if your numerology number is 2, you have to do 3. But anyway, on the lower cards, let's say you get the card that says the Knight of Wands, Spring, and it says universal energy, action, travel, free spirit, inspired. Then you have to come up with the question that gives you the answer. So the top part gives you the answer. It's like like an iceberg where the subconscious is on the bottom, but that's most of the iceberg, and the top is the tip of the iceberg above the ocean. So the ones on the bottom, they give you the answer, and you open it up, and then you come up with the question. So it's a reverse way of thinking and solving. You don't come up with because you can think of an answer of a question, like, am I going to get a raise? But the lower part, they give you the answer, and you have to come up with the question. So when it says this card, farm card, it talks about the universal energy and action and traveler, free spirit, and inspired. That would give me the question is, oh, am I going to travel next year? And it gave me the answer. But it gave me the answer, and I had to come up with a question. So you're thinking it in a different level. And that's what your cards have told me. So do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like
it's a lot of intuition. Yep.
Yeah, so you're doing reverse engineering. In other words, you're using a different part of your brain. So those are what the gods and goddesses told me about using your cards. So that's why any tarot reader, if they truly want to get to a real answer, they need to use the basic cards of the farm tarot cards. And if they want the true answers from the universe, they need to use the oracle cards. And the ones that use the other cards, you can get readings and stuff like that. But if you truly want to get to the core, you need to go to the basics and get to the substance, the real. And, if you want to make money and, be a gypsy and have people come to you and everything like that. But if you truly want to help people and you yourself truly want an answer of a problem that you have, or a question or a concern or an issue, you will use these cards versus any other cards. Okay?
Very cool. But yeah, I mean, not every way of it, your spread that your star family told you could work for you, but maybe it don't work for anyone else. But I think the core idea here is how you're spreading it, and let every person can devolve how they want to read it to them. But I think the spread is the core idea of what you're trying to say.
No. the core is you have to start out pure, which is the deck.
Right.
If you have a bad deck, and let's say somebody just wanted to make $1 million, and so they have a card and they use all these fancy drawings and artwork and stuff like that, and they sell, millions of their decks to the universe, that's fine. But they're not going to get a true answer. So it's that deck is the answer.
Okay.
Okay.
But I do like the idea, though.
I
do love the idea of doing a clock. That's a great way to do a spread.
The spread can be anything. There's millions of ways to do a spread. You can just, draw 7 cards every day if you want to. The spread doesn't matter. It's the deck. It's what you start out with. That's what's going to give you the answers, and that's what's going to make it real or not. And that's when you're going to get the true divine, spiritual, divine answers. So it's the deck. And you can't tell me anything else, because I know it's the deck. That's the answer. Okay. So thank you, Scott, for coming up with the deck. And it really does bring out, and I use that in all of my readings, and I get 100% accuracy.
Well, that's amazing.
Everyone tells me you hit the nail on the head. And how do you do that? And I tell them, you get the deck, and it will give you the answer. And do not go into superficial shit, like, oh, I wish it had gold, trim on it, or it was in, vivid, more colors, or it had more artwork. It doesn't matter. It's what the intent and the purity of it is. That's
true.
Important.
Yeah. I mean, I've learned that too, the hard way. We as human beings just need to live in gratitude and not buy this, that, and the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
All it is stuff. Stuff accumulates. Stuff costs money. You don't need stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And so probably I'm going to have to order another deck, because I've used your card so many times they've frailed and they're splitting, and I've only had them for like 2 or 3 months, but I use them all the time because, people don't want a fancy reading, just to answer their questions and tell them what they want to hear and stuff. They want true answers. They want to know what's really going on in their lives and how to better their lives. And so with all the shuffling and everything like that of these decks, so I'll probably have to order 2 or 3 just to keep them on hand. But anyway, I am grateful and thankful, and I just wanted the world to see that if you want a good deck and a pure deck, and the ones that will give you the true answer on everything, you need to have your deck to keep it on hand. You can do the fancy cards for shallow people that want shallow readings. They want to be told they're beautiful and wonderful. Have you ever saw that movie? It's called The Great. It was with Tony Randall, and he was a magician in a circus, and this shallow woman comes in and wants a reading, and so she asks for a reading, and he tells her, he says, your day is like every other day, day in and day out. It's boring. Nobody likes you. She says, well, what about the mind that I bought? It's worthless. It's not worth anything. Am I going to get married? And no, you're never going to get married. Nobody likes you. Nobody can stand you. She goes on and she goes, oh, you're a wicked, wicked man. And so she runs out of there, and she's back with her friends, and they go, oh, yeah, your fortune read. What did they say? Oh, they told me that I was going to be rich, and I was going to meet a handsome man, and I was going to have a big house, So she just goes on and on. Well, if that's what people want, then they can go get that anywhere. But anyway, if they want the truth and the answers. So anyway, I just wanted to thank you. And that's why I wanted to come on and update myself of where I am and why I'm here in Arizona. And they even ask, they'll tell me, oh, someone's going to contact you because, and let them know that, they're having heart issues and they need to take, more nitric oxide and get more, they need to take this certain vitamin and everything like that. So
when
anyway.
did you realize you're being guided by your extraterrestrial family? About what age?
I think it was after I met with you because I knew I was guided, but I just didn't know.
Oh, after we talked, it kind of opened the door, huh?
Right, because I didn't know why I was getting these feelings and everything.
Oh, okay, excellent.
But
Good
so then
timing.
I realized that's why I was here in Arizona, and then that's when they started visiting me and telling me things.
I think Chris is in Arizona there, or Sylvie.
Chris?
Yeah, I just put it up on the screen. Chris
Okay.
MK, I think she's in Arizona.
Oh, okay, cool. So she can come over and
like Connie B. Like Connie B is in Arizona.
Oh, they can come over and visit the alien, not the aliens, the Galactic Goddesses with me. They really can.
But
they can. I'm not kidding you. You want to come over and talk with them? They're there.
Yeah. The fabulous thing about, Linda Reeves is in Phoenix, 2 hours from you. A lot of people.
All right.
But the fabulous thing about your life is that you've been guided your whole life.
Yes.
You've always had a good outcome pretty much in every way you've had.
Because they took care of me because that was the agreement.
Yeah.
They took my limbs and they would take care of me.
And they did. Like we talked about before, what are the odds of a young, Asian girl missing 2 limbs getting adopted?
Oh, yeah, at age 5.
Age 4, 5, 6, whatever it was, but I think you said they put down 6 or 4 to try to help, but I was sensing you were like 6, actually. But the funny thing is, you're putting on that train you talked about. I've been on that train, and I was sensing you were in the same area I was stationed at.
Oh.
So I think you came from the south near Kunsan.
Uh-huh.
That's what we talked about. In that train that goes up to Seoul. And I think you were in a foster home or whatever up near Seoul.
Yeah, adoption agency. It was the whole orphanage.
Right.
It was American orphanage.
And I thought that was just crazy. You reached out to me, we talked, and then, it was 10 years later, but I was in the exact same place you were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
Just so weird. And then, like you said, Dave, you said Dave's birthday is 12/12?
No, that was when we got married.
Oh, you got married,
12,
yeah.
12.
And then my daughter is born on 12/12.
Uh-huh.
And I was sensing that your actual birthday, because you were given a birthday.
Yeah.
Right. I was sensing your actual birthday was like 2 days off from my other daughter.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
exactly.
The similarities and like this, that's just so weird.
Yeah, I know. It is. And that's why I was meant to meet you, and I couldn't find a psychic. And I had been looking ever since, I've been looking since I was 50 when I retired, because then I had the time, obviously. And I was so financially well off that I could retire at age 50. So I didn't, and I purposely planned that. because I didn't want to work all my life. And so I retired at age 50. Then I was starting to look up for psychic readers or someone to show me. And that's how I got a hold of Sheila. And then she said that was beyond what she could do. And that's how I got a hold of you.
Yeah, that was kind of a crazy story. You know, you reached out for her for a reading, and she's like, "I don't think I can help you." But you knew it was a connection to her, and that led me to me. And that was just amazing how the universe works. Oh, are you frozen, Kim? Oh, I think Kim's frozen. I'm not sure if Kim was gonna. We'll see if she comes back quick, but I wasn't sure if you were gonna do a YouTube channel or not. But you're setting up your website and have the Facebook, but it's all about growing. Galactic Goddess Kim, she just wants to grow and help people. But she was telling me earlier, a couple of years ago, that she helped create like wheelchairs for handicapped people. So she's been, inventing, and she was a lawyer, and I'm frozen too. I see myself. I think we just lost Kim's connection. I guess it was done, but I mean, she's had quite a life. Just always protected. Got college. Invented a wheelchair. And then to come and find out, she's been guided her whole life, so it was crazy. But the weird thing is, I mean, I do have the video of her like 2 years ago. It was July of 2020 when we first talked. But well, the weird thing is about her missing limbs. She was telling me about how the doctors said it's not possible because everything is connected and it's so perfect. It's like a surgery for any kind of amputation. If you were in a bombing or accident, to have two limbs, and that the perfection of how they were taken is unreal. But she's been guided her whole life through her star family, and they're here. So she wants to bring her knowledge, and like I said, she's in Flagstaff. So if you connect with her, maybe you guys can meet up, hang out in the back of her deck, talk with the star family that comes around every night. But she's a great person. I've known her for 2 years, and it's a blessing. So I just want to say, love you guys. Thanks for showing up. Give Kim's song, The Galactic Goddess, a chance. It's in the description. So thank you very much, and have a beautiful Wednesday. Love to you all.